How can we accept the perfection in our imperfection? This is the Performatory Talks with Jeffrey Houwelingen.
To be honest, I'm quite nervous to stand in front of you. Not only because I'm on stage with a spotlight on me, with you guys watching to me, but also because I'm going to share quite a personal story. I even doubted if I wanted to include it at all, but I think it's very important to the rest of my story, so here we go. Woo! Thank you! For a long time, I lived two completely different lives. On the one hand, I was a confident, happy, social man who was studying to become a primary school teacher. But on the other hand, I was an insecure guy, a guy that didn't know what to do with himself, a guy that was full of doubt. But the constant reach of the expectation of becoming a primary school teacher, the expectation of my parents, the expectation of the people surrounding me, led to the fact that I lost myself a little bit. Even I lost myself so much that I didn't have a clue what to do anymore. I wanted it to end. I wanted to have it stop. I wanted to stop living. But that didn't work out, otherwise I wouldn't be standing here. So after I got some help, I've been in therapy for a couple of years, quite long. A couple of months, for almost a year. And after that, I learned to accept my own flaws. I learned to accept my imperfections. I learned to accept that I can't be perfect and that I don't have to be perfect. And when I got this letter, and this letter is the letter that I got cured for my psychotherapist, I decided that I found it interesting where this comes from, where this feeling of being perfect comes from. I started with the question, what is perfection? The dictionary says that perfection is the freedom of faults and mistakes, that they won't happen. But if I ask you guys, what is perfection, I will get massively different answers from all of you. So it's a quite difficult term to distinguish. I did some little more research, and while I'm not religious myself, I saw that a lot of people saw religion as a perfection. They believed in an almighty, all-perfect being. After I read a book about Greek mythology from Stephen Fry, I came to the conclusion that I didn't see gods as perfection. The gods in this book, in the Greek mythology, committed murder, they committed incest, they ate their own children, they lied, they deceived, they were jealous. Not really the things I see as perfection in life today. And even if we look at the holy books, if you look to the Quran, the Bible, or the Torah, these gods aren't perfect at all in my eyes too. If you take a look in the Bible, in the book 2 Kings, Elijah curses a group of 42 children in the name of God, all because they say that he was bald. But he was. So, is that the perfect way of dealing with things? I don't know. And in the Quran, Allah curses the children of Israel, all because they were complaining. He even turned them into apes. But if these gods have these weird temper tantrums, why do we think that we need to be better than them? Why do we think that as human beings, that we always need to be perfect? This problem is a broader problem in society. We see that at primary school teachers, we see that at high school, we see that at policemen, we see that at policewomen. We even see that at politicians, the constant need to be perfect. Jess Willstone even says that this reach to perfection makes us less perfect. That when we accept ourselves as that we accept ourselves with flaws, that we accept ourselves with these imperfections, we become a better human being by ourselves. As I said in the beginning, I've had quite a severe depression. And if that wasn't enough, I also have an interest in politics. Yeah, you can't have everything. And I decided to look at how these constant reach of perfection to perfection influences our political landscape in the Netherlands. To see that, first we need to have a clear view how the political landscape looks like in the Netherlands. In the Netherlands we have a parliamentary democracy. We choose who represents our values the best in our parliament. Those people will govern and we can lay back, do our own lives, because other people will do that for us. That sounds perfect, but our democracy isn't perfect. We need to change. After in the 1970s, we saw a decrease in our religious boundaries. We needed a new look in how to identify ourselves. Firstly, we did that through religion. We were at a church, and that was part of our identity. But with the breakup of these religious boundaries, we started to identify ourselves more and more with political parties. We see this in the politics of today. We see a fractured political landscape with a lot of small parties. But then those political parties become more personal. And if it becomes more personal, it will get more difficult to say if some people are wrong or not. And all these things come together in a Kinevin framework. And because I was a teacher, or tried to become a teacher, I thought, let's put it on the board. In the Kinevin framework, you have 4 different systems. You have a simple and obvious system, you have a complicated system, you have a complex system, and you have a chaotic system. In the middle is some disorder. And let's explain it a little bit. In the simple system, when a problem arises, you see that there is a problem, you see immediate answer, but how can I solve this? And respond by a solution. Let's say your shoe is broken, you say, hey, my shoe is broken, I go to the store, I buy a new shoe, and the problem is solved. In a complicated system, it's more difficult. Let's say you have some pain in your feet. You go to the store, and instead of just picking a shoe yourself, you ask the expert at the store, can you help me? Because I have some pain in my feet. What shoe do I need? You get more experts and they will say maybe something different. But it's all good practice because all those different solutions can help you to have sense, analyze, respond. Then you have a complex system. And with a complex problem, you don't know the answer right away. And an expert doesn't know the answer too. Not right away either. So you probe, you sense, and you respond. It's a new practice. It's a new thing of doing things. Then you have a chaotic system. You act, you sense, and you respond. You first do, and then think. Sometimes that's quite effective, but sometimes it isn't. And in the middle you have disorder. And in disorder you are most of the time, you have your problems, you are in disorder, and you choose what kind of system thinking you use to solve that problem. And let's take it back to the politics, what I said before. If you take a look at the political landscape in the Netherlands, we have a lot of complex problems. You think about refugee crisis, about climate change, about terrorism, for example. There are a lot of complex problems where we don't know the answer right away. But what I said before, with the constant pressure of being perfect, people don't want to admit that they don't know something, that they don't know the answer. And if a political party says, well, we have a lot of poverty, for example, it's a complex problem, that will be solved if we close the borders. We gave a simple answer to a complex problem. And it's good for us, because it's not our problem anymore. We don't have to take the responsibility for that anymore. So we go for that simple solution. Well, it's a complex problem, and that is difficult, because people will get more and more dissatisfied, because the problem won't be solved with that simple answer. The problem with that is that we start to believe too much in the simple solution, and that we first act, we don't think anymore, so we go off a cliff and get into chaos. You see that with Trump in America, he only acts, then senses, then responds, but it doesn't work, it gets chaos. With this, I will get back to my transformative personal identity quest. I want to make sure that we as human beings, as a society, will get with our minds in this complex problem. Because if we are in that complex system, we try to probe, we try to do research, we try to sense and respond based on facts instead of just doing stuff. And well, I was starting with this. I wanted to transform the political system, but instead of changing politicians, what I thought at first hand, I want to change the electorate, the people who vote. If we as an electorate choose that we want to have that we understand that complex problems need complex solutions, then we can say that to the politicians. They are a mirror of our society. We vote for them. So that will be my message. I think, as human beings, we need to be more in this complex problem. Show that we don't know. Show that we have doubts. Show that we can make mistakes. Show that we are imperfect. That we need to do research. We need to help each other to become a better version and to become a better future tomorrow. I don't want to be pessimistic. I truly believe that we as human beings can be there. I don't know how yet. That will be my future research or professional identity. But I truly believe that we can go there. It's like Martin Luther King said. He didn't say, I've had a nightmare, we can't do this. He said, I've had a dream. And we need to go to that future. And how? I don't know yet. I said that before. But I truly believe if we say that we are imperfect, that we need help, that we can help each other, that we as a society accept our flaws, accept our mistakes, I truly think that we can be of a better future than we are today. This is my talk, and thank you for listening.